And you know what? Because I'm mildly obsessive, I'm going to immediately do another recording. Let's return to the bonfire we last rested at. And let's continue our way through the undead settlement. Let's go to the cliff underside, because there's an area, a part of the settlement that I would like to go through, where there are basically two ways of getting through it. One way is by what I like to call doing it the normal way, and what I like to, because it's basically a small little part of the settlement that you access. And you know what, while I'm here I might as well infuse a weapon I have with fire, just because it'll come in from this place. Fuse weapon, let's infuse the thrall axe with fire, why not? Fire gem? No. And let's reinforce it. I have plenty of Titanite. 2, 4, 6, and I have enough large shards. Do I have enough to increase this? Yeah, I can increase this too, but for right now, let's focus on the axe. Pretty good weapon. It doesn't have shield splitter, but what it does have is the moveset of an axe weapon, which means that you get pretty good chopping attacks, pretty decent hyper armor on the heavy attack, and its weapon art is pretty damn good. It's quick step. Quick step is an excellent weapon art to have, especially on an axe. There's another weapon that I can find that also, I mean, there are a few weapons that quick step. One of them is a variant on the war pick that I will hopefully find wandering through this hellhole. And let me equip. You know what? I'm going to equip a bow on my offhand. Because there is an item on this body. Same with all these bodies, you just shoot it with an arrow, knock it over, you get the item. The item on the body there is a spear. A very useful spear, I must add. First and foremost, we must deal with this guy. My favorite way of dealing with him is to just sneak up very slowly and use the weapon art of the Black Flame to launch the stratosphere. Or, if I attack the beats launching stratosphere, at the very least, I can... Oof. Brain fog moment. I can utilize the immense poise of this weapon the immense poise break, I mean, to destroy his balance and knock him over. Anyway, yeah, the weapon from that is the Partisan. I can equip it, but it would make me over-encumbered. The Partisan is a spear that utilizes sweeping attacks. And so, yeah. Basically what I mean when I say that there are multiple ways of going through this place, I mean the following. First off, there's a shiny there. I'm gonna see if I can get it by doing a trick jump. I have a feeling that the way that you get that is by... Yes, by doing this. Climb up on that slope, come over here, and you get the Zweihander. I already bought one from the blacksmith, but hey. 1,000 souls down the drain is not the end of the world. Walk around here, walk around here. Over here you get some life gems, and I missed the shiny over here. This shiny is the Breaking Wheel. It's a reference to the Ligarius Wheel from Bloodborne, which in Bloodborne was basically a gigantic ass wagon wheel that was used as a hammer to just crush people to death. And in Dark Souls 3 Cinders, the mod designers basically completely redesigned this weapon. Now instead of being a breaking wheel, God, these rangers are okay, so over here is the four-pronged plow. And as far as the rest of the shinies, I will go over what they are once I reconnect with another part of the map. So, over here, there are a metric ton of villagers. Best way to deal with them, bring them over one at a time, and beat them down. Same goes for these big guys with the hammers. I mean, not with the hammers, with the gigantic rats full of what I can only imagine are crushed human remains, considering the fact that the Undead Settlement had a very peculiar way of dealing with the Undead Curse, and that they would just crush up. Well, the first thing that they tried to do was they would try to bury the people that were afflicted. When burial didn't work, they would go with a gruesome, albeit solid plan B, in that they would crush up people and burn their remains. To the point that we will find a ring in this area that belonged to an esteemed physician that had no choice but to deal with the Undead Curse in such a fashion. Him. We're gonna be nice again. Over here, you got the wooden mallet. It is a hammer. Variation of the gigantic hammers that these guys are using. These guys all seem to be dropping Titanite shards. As a rare drop, they can also drop fire gems, which are very much useful. Here, you get the soul of the deserted corpse. Salvador's hat, one of my favorite pieces of headgear. It's a stylish hat that increases your health steadily. Kind of clashes with the aesthetic of this, but I will put it on just to show you. See what I mean? Very stylish hats. Very stylish indeed. Okay, so yeah, that takes care of everything that's here. That's this. Okay, the game's chugging a bit, so box here. Let's see if it is a mimic. No. Open it and you get the Footman set. It's the set that the big boys are wearing. Oh my, the frame rate really is chugging. So I guess what I'll do is I'll clean up the enemies in this area and just call it quits from here and splice this footage with next time. Let me try collapsing OBS and see if that helps. That helps a bit with the frame rate. Hopefully the recording is still solid. Anyway. More of those footmen. Easy way to do it. Deep barb. Not very powerful, but it is fast. And there are multiple bonfires here I want to find. The first one here is going to be up in this tower.
Another one of those unkindled, are you?
Indeed I am.
All you faceless undead, no matter. Heed my words. If you've any sense, you go find a coffin to huddle up inside. You here, in this land of hollows. You're like a frail maid, if like the others. You're fool enough to click and go on ahead. You'll face death. Enough death to leave you broken. Time after. If like the other, then go on ahead.
Yeah, that guy's Egon of Kareem. He's pretty cool. He's very cynical, but in the end he poses absolutely no danger to us. Unless, of course, we mess with his companion, which we will find soon enough. And as you see, this elevator came up, and the reason why is because there is a man riding it. I hope he notices that this elevator connects to an upper one.
Oh, pardon me. I am Siegbert of Katerina. To be honest, have you ever walked near a white bird? Well, if whoever it is, I'm sure I can. But I have to find this. Well, this with a lip.
Yeah, he is all like, this lift only goes down. But as you saw, that lift is connected to another one that goes up. So you take this lift up, and it leads you up to the top of this tower, where once here, you will find a bonfire. And I might as well not talk to the giant here and just show you guys what the giant will try to do. But there's a shiny here. Severer. Curved greatsword based on the Severer from Demon Souls. Pretty cool weapon. It is a gigantic curved greatsword, deals slash damage. Someone is at the door, so I have a feeling there might be some family members paying a visit. I'm going to take a break for a minute, say hi to them, and I will be back. Hope I didn't keep you guys waiting too long. That somebody that came by was my aunt. Apparently there was a mix-up in the mail, and they got a packet of dog food. Oh, that, humming, that's Secret. He's up. He climbed up on that scaffolding and came out the other side. Anyway, yeah. My aunt accidentally got an order of dog food that was apparently supposed to go to one of their neighbors, but the neighbors were like, oh, we already got dog food when the delivery didn't come, so you guys can give it to someone that you know. And so they came by and gave it to us. Which I think is kind of funny, because our little chihuahua is still a puppy. So if anything, if that dog food is still good once Zuma's proverbial balls drop, as well as his literal balls dropping, then I'm sure it will be of use. Anyway, rodents on their own aren't all that threatening. But what is mildly threatening is one, the gigantic rat that's in this area, and two, if I can hit my mark with this thing, God. Not what I wanted to do. I thought I had the shield on. Yeah, the real threat is this gigantic rat. That drops a blood gem. Blood gem is pretty useful. You can infuse it onto a weapon and it will do bleed damage. And up over here, there is another shiny, some charcoal pine bundles, all well and good. Phone is ringing. Sorry about that. That was just toe marker. I have to clean this numpad. So yeah, you open it from this end, and you come to the dilapidated bridge bonfire. I'm gonna light the bonfire, not gonna rest at it. So I'm gonna show you guys what will happen with that giant. Basically, anywhere you find... Oh, wait, I Hodrick invaded. Wonderful. Well, the deal with the giant is... Okay, Hodrick invaded. Okay. Let's just use into the stratosphere. There we go. Good thing about this axe, decent hyper armor. Bad thing about it, its range is abysmal. Don't even think about it, Hodrick. And okay, Holy Knight Hodrick went down. Green Knight Hodrick has died. Got a vertebra shackle. All well and good. I'll stick with Thrall Axe. But yeah. There'll be a lot of, because I'm compared to Fashion, there are a lot more villagers here than normal. Alright, I'll just do what I always do. And from a distance. And like I said, I'll show you guys what happens if you try to venture through this area. Giant, because there is a birch in this area. And white birch plants are very significant to this giant, as he will try to protect it at any cost. The only problem with that is he thinks that we're one of the marauding hollows in this area, so he will accidentally shoot at us, believing that he's one of those hollows, as I will show you right now. Does he just not do that? Yes, he does. Okay. He will shoot those javelin-sized arrows at us, thinking that we're one of those marauding hollows, but considering the fact that he's a hollow archer, I mean not a hollow, that he's a giant archer now, that can shoot arrows with immense accuracy, all we really have to do is just make peace with him and he'll be all like, oh, I'll help you anytime then. He literally just says, I'll help anytime. And from that point, it will be strictly beneficial to our cause. Let's pop a life gem. Okay. And yeah, there's another one she's down. And now for the grandson, even though that's not the grandson is the big beefy dude holding the cage. That's the grandson that that nice rewrite is talking about. Yeah, this place is significantly tougher if you go at it the normal way because the evangelist up on that scaffolding, I mean not scaffolding, up on that balcony, will just lob deep soul after deep soul onto you. I mean not deep soul. 9 after 9. So it's significantly easier to go through this portion of the map from the opposite side. Okay, now I believe on one of these houses a villager is going to burst out and try to attack. Could be mistaken. Here. The house. So yeah, one of the ways that this place tries to get you is that in one of these houses, the villagers will burst out of the place and really try to attack you. Ain't gonna happen though. Titanite shard. Oh my god. You guys are probably going to hear this clear as day, but my mom is just going to town on my dad for accepting strangers' dog food. Kibbles and bits from God knows where she put it. Like, I can't blame her for being a little paranoid. God only knows what could be in there, but at the same time, it's dog food. Okay, there might be more shinies in this area, and there are. Okay, the barrel. I believe that has the same buff. Okay, the sack, the barrel. No, the barrel increases soul absorption. Barrel prized by the workers of the undead settlement. A sack prized by the workers of the undead settlement. I don't remember where I got that sack from. It's probably from one of the shinies that I picked up in this area. Anyway. Here we have Titanite Shard. Let's see if I can still get that Crystal Lizard, or... And over here, and the throw harp. Okay.
Dijo ya tú ahí. Esta comida compré un rapaz que andaba vendiendo por ahí comida esta hasta la verde $20. ¿Qué? ¿A qué yo compré? Vamos a la paradilla.
Yuki.
¿Dónde está? ¡El diablo! ¿Es? ¿Ese fue que por ahí?
Yeah. You know, I scared the shit out of Sumo with it. My family is crazy. Okay. Now that we cleared everything up there, let's go over to the Giant's Tower. And what we do is we chat with the Giant.
Who are you?
If we make these, it gives us a ring, looks skyward, and a young whitefish branch. And with that, the Giant is an ally of ours. Clock ring is a pretty good ring. It's a mechanical ring of one of Gwyn's knights. There's a scaffolding. Okay, so what you do to reach that part of the map is you take this elevator and you walk off at this little section of scaffolding here. And oh look, it's a familiar face.
Oh, don't disappear. But thanks to you, an epiphany has struck. I've unraveled the riddle. On some days, I went up the tower, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. Anyhow, do you see that? That I'm no coward and I've a steady hand, but how now? Think twice. I could try.
Yeah, with the secret of Katarina, he mentioned that he ended up over here. He has no idea how. I like to imagine that he was so lost in thought that he like slipped and fell onto that piece of scaffolding and didn't even notice. Anyway, the demon there. You want to know relatively what you're doing with him?
You should have waited.
The demon. And then see if there's
Right
now.
I seek word of the Knights of Katarina. Fight by your side.
Thankfully, this thing is a demon. As such, it's pretty much susceptible to dark as well as to lightning.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, your valor, my sword, and arm. Long may...
Yeah, and now he's given us a taste.
Well,
He's gonna
the
take
only
himself
thing
a
to do,
little nap.
really.
And basically, when he says that he's going to take a little nap and he falls asleep, you talk to him, he snores, and then from there you can learn a gesture to mimic his sleep. So yeah. There may be some pretty good shinies in this area, so I'm going to make sure to scope the entire place out. Because I know that over here, there are some things that'll come in handy for a side quest. Mainly, if I can find my way around this hole. Anything here? Nothing around here. Okay, so I know that around here there may be some weapons. There are definitely some weapons. Over here we find the tan straw hat. That's a reference to Sekiro. It's a straw hat worn by, I believe, farmers in Japan. Or, at the very least, in medieval Japan. Sekido would fall in as far as its timeline is concerned. Anyway, there are some bodies. I always find it so weird that the arrows seem to always get stuck. Like, look at that. That arrow literally got stuck into nothing. Anyway, you knock these bodies off, and from one you get a pale tongue, and from the other, I believe you get the northern set. That's you do. Let's see, Great Club, Northern Set. I believe that's all the shinies, but I will browse the rest of this area. Okay, now thanks to the Curse of Attraction, there is a... Is a Dark Knight over here? Well, Black Knight Shield. No Black Knight, though. Maybe the Black Knight doesn't show up until later. Anyway, the corpse has a Black Knight Shield. I don't know if they're throwing knives on, so... I'll make do using my dark magic. So, go up here. As you can see, some of these are off-colored. The off-colored corpses are actually alive. Ring, it increases your weapon durability. Pretty useful find. And first things first, let's use our item here. Yes. Titanite shard. Cool beads. More importantly, there was a merchant up there. If we chat with him, he'll tell us that he sells sidearms, basically firearms, as well as other weapons. If you can't tell by the way this gentleman is dressed, he's a callback to the hunters from Bloodborne. He is Master Benjamin. We can purchase sidearms from him, including the hunter's pistol, the repeating pistol. I'm gonna buy the hunter's pistol from him, even though I can't really use that at the moment, but yeah. And he also has items that we can give him. Interested in a little quest, are we? I've been aching to work on something truly extraordinary, but I lack a crucial ingredient. If you would be so kind, please fetch me a tortured soul from the decrepit cathedral. And you can also ask about the smith box. Blasted thieves. It seems that ne'er-do-wells swiped my toolbox. Would you mind retrieving it for me? I believe I saw the rapscallion running off towards a castle. Yeah, that's a cool one where you can find the guys who stole Master Benjamin's equipment. Okay, so the footman set increases your strength. I'm going to equip 1 or 2 pieces of the master set to increase my dexterity, so that I can actually use the sidearm. So yeah, this sidearm is the hunter's pistol from Bloodborne. I believe it is called no, it's still the hunter's pistol. Unlike Bloodborne, where the pistols do mediocre damage but are more meant to stun enemies, to set them up for a backstab, with this weapon, instead of utilizing Quicksilver bullets like in Bloodborne, this sidearm uses its weapon durability as ammo. Its durability is indicative of how much ammo it has. So yeah, the bulwark ring could actually come in handy for this. Let's see if it's a lighter than what I currently have. Oh yeah, Gesture's ring. A ring with the portrait of a jovial court jester. The entertainers among the kingdom of Lothric formed a powerful estate, as their ability to influence and distract the populace was of great value to its rulers. Yeah, that increases your luck, anyway. So, you know, do decent damage. Use the pistol. Not the end of the world is, and let's take out these weapons. Okay, weapons at risk. Might as well pop for repair powder. Repair powder is pretty rare to find out in the field, but I know that you can get you can get a variant of it from the Mystic Ireland Shrine that you can upgrade your resonant crystal at. Oh yeah, the Evangelist drop balls. They give you a slight increase to your base stats. Anyway, here we have a Fading Soul. Over here's a normal chest. In it we have a Missionary Axe. Pretty cool axe. I'm going to try to put it to use up against the boss coming up. Anyway. While I'm up here, I might as well explore the rest of the hole. Here, I believe it's the Flynn's Ring. No, it's not a bone shard. Okay, Flynn's Ring has gotten somewhere else then. So you drop off at around here, near the little tower. That has some pretty cool shinies. Rusted gold coins. That temporarily increases your item discovery. Okay, fall off there, fall off here, almost die, quite, and you find some very good pieces of equipment. The Mira set and the Chloranthy ring. Mira set is an armor set worn by Ukatil of Mira. It's issued to all Mira knights that are destined to go on long and arduous journeys. It has pretty decent poison and it's pretty decent poison, frost and curse resistance since it was armor that was meant to be worn on long journeys. Anyway, there's nothing else of value here. And I believe this handgun is pretty damn good at dealing with enemies. I'm already starting to experience some slowdown. In this box we got the workers set. As the name implies, it was worn by the workers of the Undead Settlement. Yeah, this sidearm is surprisingly useful, but yeah. The whole its main source of ammo comes from weapon durability is kind of annoying though. Anyway, let's deal with it. Let's put these poor pups out of their misery. I believe around here there is a chest or a mimic. Some enemy that houses an item, or some object that houses an item within itself. Pups are down. And I believe around here somewhere there is a mimic that has a weapon. If I can find it. It's either a normal box or a mimic. Ah, here it is. There's the box. It's a mimic. Easy way of dealing with a mimic. Focusing crystal. And just have to with the bark and it's all dead. From him, we got the phosphorescent pole. Fascinating weapon. Let's see if I can use it. I need 20 strength, 20 dex, and I already have 20 in all those. I'll be sure to find the rings that will allow me to use that soon enough. But for right now, I might as well show you what the difference is at the dilapidated bridge now that the giants is all hostile towards us. And you know what? It's not that bad, I might as well take out these guys. This will take long. Focus. This guy, 1, 2, 3. That one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to increase this now. This guy looks the same. 2, 4, 5. However it takes to get rid of them. But it takes 6 to take those big boys out. Okay, Titanite Shard, Blunt Gem, Rubbish, Rubbish. Another Blunt Gem. Oh, down there's an Outrider Knight. Okay, more of these big boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're down. And now I'll go through the rest of the dilapidated bridge area. Just to show you what else is there. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. It's not cool or at least nice. I'm gonna go back to equipping the rest of the bear set. Also, this has the same effect as the master, as the ragged mask part of the master set. The straw hat increases your dexterity by a smidge. Increases frost resist, that's northerner set. Okay. Gonna stick with what I already have on. Thank you very much. I got them enough for a gigantic rat. That's what it is. It's a string, which would be amazingly odd, because rats are... I know this is gonna sound weird to people who may be rodentophobic, but rats, rodents, at the very least rats, are very dog-like in their behavior. And there's a crystal lizard there. I think all he drops is a shiny twinkling titanite and... I tend to hit him from this height. Not the end of the world. this. So yeah, there are 3 locations where you find white birch plants. Since I don't want the giant to die. Well, basically, the way that the giant side quest works is there are 3 areas where there are birch plants. One is right here in the undead settlement. Another, and the 2 other areas are in the 2 areas past the undead settlement, which are Lucky Gem, Lost Fruit, Reinforced Club. I'm going to ignore all the items. To unlock a box in this area. So where we go. Rubbish. Examine. Yeah, these are the white. Read message. Arrows of a giant rain down. God, you got to love Spaniards. We are much like the people of Katarina. We are not the type to bottle up our expression. Oh, wait, I grabbed a birch branch. Okay, well. Whatever. Okay, that happened. I was trying to, but I messed up there. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to jump off at that point. I did not. So, yeah. I don't remember what bonfire I came out of. I think it's one of the giant's tower. Yes, it is. Okay, the giant's still alive. Good. There are 3 locations where you find the white birch tree. One is in the settlement, and the other 2 are in the areas immediately past this point. I'm going to refrain from picking them up because the white birch trees. Basically, I like using this place to farm Covenant materials, since the way that Covenants work in Cinders, enemies just have a flat road in front of them. Machete. Pretty cool weapon. Not gonna. It's basically a gigantic meat cleaver. Okay, gonna wait for a giant friend to knock these guys out. He just want to equip Salvador's hat. Or put a sack on my head. Thanks to the crazy direction, a lot more easy than otherwise. materials like their candy. So what I was trying to do was sprint and jump, and you will end up at this nice little outcrop. Over here is where you find the Flynn's ring. It was moved. And there's an item that is much more important than a ring or a weapon. And that item is... if I can get to it. Also, there's a thrall up there. Let's see if I can hit him. With dark magic. There we go. That thrall has a Zvay handle. I believe you get the Zvay handle from him as well. No, you don't. You get a different thrall. Over here, you get the cleric set. And here you find an ember. Over here is where you get the flamberge, my mistake. And this body over here is the most important item of this area, the Mortician's Ashes. That's an example of Umbral Ash. You give it to the handmaid, and she does something with it. I don't know, maybe she eats it. I think she just sticks it in one of the urns that she sits next to in the shrine, and somehow produces weapons with it. I'm not sure. What else you spend? A box here, I believe. Yes, it is a normal box. Great Swamp Pyromancy Tome. We need to give that to Cornix. Over here, there is a little area where there is the Great Scythe. Great Scythe is an example of a Reaper type weapon. They are similar to glaives in that they are basically blades on a stick, but Reapers are more dexterity oriented and specialize in inducing lacerations. Fight the boss. Oh, wait, no, never mind. There are still a few more things I have to do. And I will do that once I decide to fight the boss. Also, that's the beast cutter. But first things first, I'm going to go back to the shrine. Because I need to get a key from the Mortician's Ashes. That is why they are so important. I don't know if you noticed in the sewer where those rats were, but there is an item past a door. That door is unlocked using a key that you get using the Mortician's Ashes. Also, this guy, Acolyte Grudor, he sells spellbound items. I'm gonna get one of each. Basically, the spellbound items are special. Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid. I'm Grudor, wandering sorcerer swords, bringing resonant crystals that can provide you goods and services that may be of use to you. Yeah, he, you find, like, normally you would give in vanilla, when I say normally, I'm basically talking about the vanilla game. You would give those...
Gracious.
Well, let's give her the ash. And with Mortician's Ashes, you can get access to the Grave Key, and Andre will be able to sell you equipment from the Undead Settlement. And basically, throughout your adventure, you will find coal. In vanilla, you would give the coal to Andre, and he would be able to infuse weapons with certain elements. In this game, however, he can do all of the infusions right off the bat, as long as you have the materials to do so. So instead, what you do with the coal is you give it to Grudor, and he will give you more spellbound items that you can use. So yeah, nothing I'm interested in. One thing I will do is you need to give the bones. Yeah, you can form a covenant, become a member of the Thieves Pack. There are no special things that you can do with this covenant.
Oh, and
He also has a gesture, and he, more importantly, sells you equipment. I think I already have all this because Andre also sells it. Basically, there's some equipment that you can only get from the Shrine Handmaiden, some that you can only get from Patches, and some that you can only get from Grey Rat. As for the stuff you can only get from Grey Rat, he gradually goes on heists. And in order to get him to do that, first thing you need to do is give him Loretta's bow.
heavens, she was already dead. Thank you. Almost a relief. You can keep them as... Goodbye. Oh.
And one thing we can do is we can talk to Yule over here.
Oh, this pilgrim. And I never would have. I thank you dearly for...
So yeah,
Then shall we begin?
we can draw out our true strength with him. And by that I mean we can gradually become more and more hollow. And he also sells some items here. He also sells Deep Barb, Farron Dart. Deep Barb is basically the dark equivalent of Farron Dart, so I'm just going to stick with that for right now. He also sells Soul Arrows, Purging Stones that remove curse buildup. And some Rouge Water.
Be safe.
Not interested in that though. What I am going to do is, there are two ways that you can get the Dark Sigil. One is by periodically dying. The easiest way to do that would just be to climb up here to one of the top floors of the shrine. And you see where this little piece of, you see where this part is? Just drop down and it should... Never mind. I have just enough health to survive that. Okay. So what you do is you just... I think the one who said what a joke was, Anyway, you, jump off of the cliff there. You basically just fall off of the cliff, and that's it. There are a few easy ways to do this. One is to go to the Untended Graves. One is to just go here to Firelink and just drop yourself off. And another is to... Basically anywhere where there's a cliff, you just drop yourself off and that's it. Now let's see where my souls are. Feeling it's back up where scaffolding is now. Ah, there it is. That's what I took within the bear set. There we go. And yeah, if you haven't noticed, my hollowing is going to gradually increase as a result of that. As you gradually increase your hollowing, you will go to Yule to draw out your true strength, at which point you will find that you have dark sigils in your inventory. A black gaping hole in the flesh that resembles the brand of the undead. The darkness of humanity seeps from this bottomless pitch-black hole, a gap filled by the accumulation of the curse. This dark sigil will never heal. There is a tale told of the Firekeeper who has returned from the abyss, and brought great comfort to the bearer of the curse. Yeah, the dark sigil is a variant on the dark sign. Oh, whoopsie. Switch. Dark sign is a sign of an accursed undead. The dark sign returns the bearer to the last bonfire they rested at, or to a bonfire at Firelink, but at the cost of all souls. Carriers of the dark sign are reborn after death and gradually lose their minds, turning hollow. So they are driven from their homelands. Yeah, basically the dark sigil is a variant of the dark sign.
Heavens.
And you go over here, talk to Grey Rat, and he gives you the curled up gesture. He's basically inconsolable at this point, but he can become consolable after a while when you decide to,
Oh,
Okay, I don't have
Be
enough to do that.
safe.
Not the end of the world. Basically, you have to build up your hollowing to a certain point, and he will give you more dark sigils to Got a phone call. Give me a minute. I'm gonna check, see who it is. Seems to just be a telemarketer. So yeah, what you do is I'm going to do this by using the coiled sword fragment. I'm going to return to the bonfire. Magical great arrows said to have been used by servants of the Abyss in the distant past, imbued with abyssal energy. These arrows inflict dark. Can only be used with great bows. Understandable. Great Sword of Judgment. Ceremonial great sword held in Ponce of Sullivan's left hand, representing Judgment of the Moon. But resembles sorcery. Okay, so yeah, you rest up there, and then Grey Rat's like, oh, I've been thinking,
everyone's dead. I might as well fit well.
I can find some treasures and whatnot, and you send him on a pillage. And then from there...
Goodbye, dude.
From there, you use this to return to the shrine bonfire. And let's see how much time is left, how much time I've spent recording. 33, was it 33 minutes? No, it's 1 hour 10 minutes. 33 minutes is when that was finished. Okay. And yeah, he'll be gone. Basically, now that Grey Rat is gone, he will go on a pillage, and you kill the boss of the undead settlement, and he shows back up with new items. There's also Cornix of the Great Swamp here. I'll go talk with him. He's a Covenant leader and also...
Oh, there you are, Unkin. I wish to for trusting. As promised, I will at first.
He gives us an orb of Pyromancy flame if we're not already a Pyromancer. From here, you can learn a gesture, the unmannered bow. He also gives us a welcome gesture when you talk to him a second time. You can also form a covenant with him, the Chaos Servants. And more importantly, you can give him the Pyromancy tome.
Yes, with this I can teach you splendid.
And with that, he can teach us different Pyromancies. He can teach us Great Combustion, Flame Fan, which I'm going to buy. Poison Mist, which I'm also going to buy. Feast Sweat temporarily boosts all resistances, and Flesh Sweat boosts fire absorption. Not interested in any of that.
Do not be gone from... What is it?
And the reason why I bought those Pyromancies is because the flame that I have can cast Pyromancies as well as hexes. And if we go to his Covenant, we can get some pretty good items. The Demon Skull and the Demonic Claw can allow us to transform into a copper demon. It's purely cosmetic. I think we can also get it from the from Arcanist Gigi. Lingering Chaos, I believe that functions exactly how it does in Dark Souls 2. I haven't tried it though. We should just try it once again.
Do not be gone. What is it?
He's all like, ooh, what is a teacher without a student? And all that wonderful stuff. Anyway, I don't have any resonant crystals in my inventory, so I can't do anything with him. Just make sure there's nothing else I can do here. Doesn't look like it. Also, the skeleton here, he's not hostile. He basically just functions as a dummy that you can use to test weaponry on. He's purely there for that purpose. Oh, excuse me, I just sneezed. As if that wasn't obvious.
What?
See if we can reinforce our Pyromancy flame. No, I don't have enough. Okay. Reinforce this. Anything here that I can reinforce that I plan on using? Oh, the Thrall Pick, I need a bit more dexterity before I can use that. Not right now, I'll just stick with what I got. Oh, I didn't buy this right hander earlier. That was with a different character.
Pretty be careful, I go.
Doesn't want to see his book squandered. Okay, so let's just roll around and also chat with that guy up there, Lilith. Let's also see if I can continue Ringfinger Leonhardt's side quest.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords, I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment, as I say, if substantiation be thy want. This...
Yeah, he allows you to do soul transposition. Right now, the only thing I'm interested in from Gundar's soul is maybe one of these rings. Graduate. Okay, so it's confusing more allowing enemies to harm one another, but reduces max health. I'm not interested in any of those. I am interested in these rings that apply elements, that apply status elements to my weapons, and I'm also interested in what Magnum Ursus sells. He sells.
Well, finally remember me? You're making quite an effort of it. So if you yearn for a then kill the dark, he has been a prisoner. I can see.
He tells you about a dark wraith in Lothric Castle that's been prisoner there for a long time. He gives you the key to that chamber. The key to that chamber is in the area that leads up to where Kravrad was sequestered. To make the fight a bit easier against him, I'm going to return a different spell, and I'm going to travel there and fight him. Easiest way to get there. Go to the High Wall Jail. Said spell I have to make it easier to fight him is the... If I can bring it to mind, Flame Fan. The good thing about... I believe the Dark Wraiths are weak to fire. If not, they are definitely more susceptible to it than other elements. They are definitely resistant to dark. So I'm going to do right now is I'm going to equip the Pilgrims of the Dark. Oh yeah, increases fire damage, just increases your casting time which you can aim against the Dark Wraith that's down there. Solids will gradually okay, you can add Titanite. I might as well equip those unenchanted items that GG made. I mean, not GG, that Gridor made. Basically, they are functionally identical to the normal items, except that they use focus. So you can effectively have an endless supply of them, provided you have enough. And yeah, that locked door over there, that is the door that Leonhard was referring to. You use the lift chamber key, you go down here, there's a dark wraith on there. To make the fight against him a bit easier, I'm going to just sneak up to him and just bash the ever loving shit out of him with Flame Fan. It works. And you know, if not, I can always try to yeet him into the stratosphere. Thrall Harp. Oh, that also increases your... Oh. Simple harp wielded by the thralls of the undead settlement, treated as slaves. These pitiful hollows are adept at wielding their tools in combat. Okay, yeah, let's see if I can take this guy out. Sadly, the sword that I'm using right now is infused with dark. So... that is not going to be the best against him, but what will work against him, however, is... get the dark set and a red eye ring. The dark armor set is armor used by dark wraiths. It increases your dark damage, but it is pretty heavy. Might as well equip the mask. Let's see how heavy it is compared to this. A little bit heavier. Okay, I might as well equip the... Oh no, it's 2. Why not? More dark damage is more dark damage. Now I look like a weird-ass shaman. I approve of this aesthetic. I approve of it immensely. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here. First and foremost, I'm going to kill some Lothric hollows and some... Main reason why was because I wanted to see if I can get some more Covenant items. I could not. So instead, let's just return to the shrine and chat with Leonard to wrap up this portion of it. The next portion of it, however, requires me to join a covenant called Rosaria's Fingers. But if I were to do so, I would screw up a quest line with another character that I plan on seeing through to the end because I like her. You can join Rosaria's Fingers and finish up Leonhard and Rosaria's quest line at any time. It just requires you joining Rosaria's Fingers, doing 1 or 2 things for Rosaria, and that's basically it. I'm not going to spoil the rest of their quest line. I'm just going to go over here and...
Aha, you found a brilliant. I knew. Now, and if, come on. Now, and come on.
He also says, go on and give yourself to Rosaria. Sacrifice some items I don't need. Mainly these, because I have a spellbound variant. And I'm also going to sacrifice these cracked red eye orbs, as I don't need them anymore. That I'm going to save because I'm going to trade it into the Nestlings, that Firelink. And these. If you find the soul of a champion, do not, under any circumstances, sell it. Save it for a boss fight that is giving you particular trouble, and utilize that to nuke that boss into oblivion. But for right now, let's grab the Firekeeper. We could give her the Firekeeper's soul.
Ashen One, this is much like what lied, then let it find its own. She will understand.
The Firekeeper can now heal the Dark Sigil.
Forgive me, may the flames go. Welcome home, speak then.
And yeah, I don't really want to do that because I wouldn't mind getting the Word of Hollows ending on this build, on this character. So I am going to level up though. To increase my strength by 2, and maybe increase my strength by 1 and my dexterity by 1, because I kind of want to get both stats at the very least up to 16.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Either way, one thing that I am definitely going to do is I am going to stop this recording, and perhaps I'm going to farm up some more of those hollows at the dilapidated bridge and get some more Covenant items. I'll talk to you guys later until